For the past 18 years, the Safari has been giving enough sleepless nights to enthusiasts, more than any other SUV in the Indian car market. It was the Safari that set the ball rolling for SUVs in the Indian domestic market. Now, for the past 15 years or so, Tata Motors has been silently upgrading the Safari across various parameters: better design, better features, more performance, better engine options, and so on. However, the first proper evolution of the Safari came in the form of the Storm 3 years back. But frankly, it was more of a disappointment for hardcore Safari fans. That said, what we have with us is the new Safari Storme version 2.0, and Tata Motors claims they have finally listened to the customer feedback. Now this one begs to be different across states, across the length of India, and this is what we did last month. Now I was waiting to see what the Safari could do on open highways, but that also meant negotiating Mumbai's utterly slow traffic for the first couple of hours. What really helped me was the towering view from the Safari's throne, but by the time we hit the open highways of NHA leading to Delhi, the sun had finally disappeared into the horizon. It was time finally to make use of Safari's massive road presence to make our way through truck traffic, but unfortunately, the headlamps, they didn't really live up to the Safari's strong image. As a result, we had to cut short our journey at Vapi, a small town just inside Gujarat. Now we had planned to cover as much distance as possible last night on the NH8. However, the Safari's headlamps aren't the best around. We had to break our journey in Vapi in Gujarat. However, it's 7 AM in the morning and we plan to cover as much distance as possible towards Delhi, but via Udaipur. Now Udaipur is a city close to my heart. It's a beautiful city of lakes, of hills and forts, and that is where the Storme's gonna take us today. With less than 200 kilometers under our belt, it was time finally to let the Safari Storme stretch its leg. Vapi to Ankleshwar, a distance of 160 kilometers, was done in less than 2 hours. However, once at Ankleshwar, we finally hit our first hurdle. Now, the NH8 bridge going over Narmada River is infamous for really long traffic jams, and this is where we were forced to take the Golden Bridge from inside the city. Now this proved to be a sort of an issue for the Safari Storme. The Safari is a wide vehicle and this was a big issue while negotiating the really narrow Golden Bridge. However, once past Ankleshwar, the 450-kilometer journey towards Udaipur took us less than 7 hours. And by early evening, we were at the beautiful Sajangarh or the Monsoon Palace just outside Udaipur, a place that can leave you speechless with a bird's eye view of the lake city. Now the 640-kilometer journey from Vapi to Monsoon Palace in Udaipur took us just over 10 hours including breaks and fueling stops, all thanks to the Safari Storme's mild munching abilities. Now in the last couple of days, the new Storme has been a bag of mixed beans for us. Of course, the seats are very comfortable, the SUV is spacious, the engine is punchy, and of course, the NVH levels are surprisingly very good. However, at the same time, the new Storme suffers from a few issues: lack of features, lack of good headlights, and so on. Stay with us for the next few minutes as we continue our journey towards Delhi and give you our verdict on the new Storme. As for now, it's time to soak in the lovely views from this majestic place in the company of an equally majestic SUV. it may be a very heavy SUV, but with 150 PS of power under the hood, the Safari Storme can be a real quick SUV in the right hands.
Now, one of the better updates, one of the better upgrades in the new Storme is the way the engine feels. Of course, it's the same unit that used to power the earlier Storme, which means you get a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder diesel engine that now puts out 10 PS of extra power. It's also being rebadged as the Varicor engine, the same as the earlier. Torque, of course, remains unchanged. Now, as I said, the way the engine feels, the way the power builds up, is slightly different, it's slightly better as compared to the old Storme. Of course, turbo lag is still there, but once on the boil, the new Storme can be a very quick car for its weight and its size. The 5-speed gearbox is not really a smooth unit, but at the same time, we haven't seen any issues with the gearbox for the last couple of days. Now, as far as straight line stability is concerned, it's finally time to take the Storme to a secluded airstrip to see what this baby can do in a safe environment.
On the secluded 1 km airstrip that we had to ourselves, the Storme almost ended up hitting the 150 km mark on the speedometer. Just imagine what the lighter LX version can do on the same airstrip. Now, the next half an hour was spent pushing the SUV for a few video shots, and even with the summer sun out in all its glory, the 2.2 litre Varicor engine simply refused to heat up. Pretty impressive, I must say. By the noon of day 3, it was evident that the Safari Storme is surely one of the best long-distance SUVs in the Indian car market. However, as I said in the starting, every coin has two sides, and we were yet to see the other side, the second side of the new Storme, and that is all about off-roading. So our main aim was to reach Delhi and take the new Storme 4x4 to a secluded, private off-road paradise. Now, a good off-road vehicle should be lightweight, but in this case, the Safari is a 2-ton SUV beast. I am no off-road expert, but was left smiling all the way with the abilities of the new Safari Storme 4x4. Quick runs around the high-speed dirt track or tight uphill curves around the sandy stretches. The Storme literally danced to my tunes with antics like these. A low ratio 4x4, lot of wheel articulation, oodles of torque, and of course limited slip differential. All this come together to make the Storme 4x4 one hell of a SUV off the road. The pity is not all owners will get to test the limits of the Storme in the true fashion. So to sum it up, the new Safari continues to look very muscular with minor updates to the exteriors, for example, the new grille. It continues to be supremely comfortable with very spacious front 2 rows. And finally, Tata Motors has given the Storme a lot of feature comforts. A new foldable key for the keyless entry, a new infotainment system, a new steering wheels with steering controls, and so on. However, that said, I'm not a fan of a company that actually removes safety aids just to slash the base price for the Safari. In this case, the LX model has been sliced price-wise but at the cost of ABS. So the big question remains, should you be going for the new Safari Storme? Well, if you're in the market looking for a 10 to 14 lakh rupee SUV, the Storme could be your pick, provided you want to scare away slow-moving small hatchbacks on the road. If you want a SUV for the family, well, frankly, I would say stay away. But finally, if you have been a Safari loyalist since the days of you wearing shorts in school, just close your mind, close your heart, go for this one.